Take two.
Mm-hmm.
Well, either way, I'll just put you at the tag, and in case... How was it? Marcel dot river?
Dot river, yeah. Dot rivers.
Oh, rivers.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Marcel dot.
Marcel. Interesting. Doesn't show it no more. Marcel river. Marcel. I don't know why it doesn't show. Alright, either way. I can just Marcelo. I think I will need to change the description because you are Paraguayan.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like you would be Spanish, but you are a Spanish teacher.
Yeah,
right?
that's it. Yeah.
A little bit tricky. Alright. So there we are.
I teach Spanish there. I think you can tag me now.
Okay, let's try.
I'll put that.
So at Marcel Rivers?
Yeah, without the L.
Ah, right. Okay. Nope. Still nothing. Because if you would be tagged, you would get a notification, I think.
Yeah.
But, we can see what's the matter afterwards. Anyway. So, first things first, I usually ask foreigners always the same question initially. What brings you to Latvia and what are your impressions so far?
Okay. I'm gonna start with the first one because I love Europe and I'm trying to visit a lot of countries in Europe.
Yeah.
So I already visit Germany, Italy, Spain. So now say, what's next? So I decided to go to the Baltic countries, like Lithuania and Latvia, and Estonia will be the next trip. I couldn't visit this time, so I'm gonna do it later.
Wow.
Probably next year. So because those are countries, because I'm from Paraguay, and in my countries, like we know nothing about those countries, and I was curious to see what is in here, how is the people, what do they eat, how are they with strangers? I mean, with foreigners. And yeah, that's it. I'm here for that.
So, and your impressions?
I really like Latvia. It was when I arrived, it was like people were very friendly. So some of them didn't speak English, but anyway, they could communicate with me, anyways. So they were very friendly. Even it was a man who made a joke on the street with a cat. It was like from a movie, Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
He made, oh, don't touch that cat because that cat is an alien. I say, what kind of alien? And he said the name of the alien from Captain Marvel. I say, oh yes, I saw that movie. He says, oh, that's a
tricky one because not many people would recognize that joke, I guess.
Yeah, and he was impressed. So people were nice. Yeah.
I have a second question, sort of. You are from South America.
Yeah.
Right? So, what's the situation with the past 2 years regarding COVID, regarding all the inflation maybe now, all these global phenomena?
Okay, we start with the COVID. Our health system is not very good because our country is not very So it's not the first word. Like, so we have some problems. So we had a lot of restrictions. We have like military restrictions at the first 3 months. So it was very hard for us staying home because we were like forced to be inside. And also the hospitals were like very crowded. So it was a tough situation during the COVID.
Okay. So it sounds similar to Europe then.
Yeah, but I hear here, I was here in the Latvia. You have like a...
You essentially described it. But there's a debate going on about, for instance, the statistics. Because at first everybody was that had the diagnosis sort of, even though you maybe went to the hospital with a broken leg, right? So it's a little bit tricky to debate whether or not there were real cases.
Yeah.
But they got jammed into the statistics, and so we had initially we didn't have a lot of cases, but we also didn't have a lot of testing.
Okay.
So that was just logical. But once we had established a lot of testing, there were sort of proportionally speaking a lot of cases. And then the debate was whether or not those are real cases. But the government, the state, they were just ruthless bastards, and they didn't care. And yeah, well, I think a lot of people in Latvia woke up that the government is essentially just some organized crime syndicate.
Yeah. Yeah, my country was very hard, and also for the vaccines after that. So we wait a lot, and now we're like normal. No more restrictions.
Till maybe October, November, right?
Yeah.
Because now they're literally saying that they expect a new variant, a ninja variant. That's ridiculous.
I hope no.
It's a circus.
Yeah, I hope no.
I don't know how you feel about it, but I feel it's just a really, really awkward Orwellian circus.
That's why I'm enjoying right now, because we're free to move, and that's why I'm exploring Europe, because it's my passion, exploring, traveling Europe. So that's why I'm doing right now, because we're kind of free. And for the moment, I don't want another variant in the future. So.
But how did you experience all these things in France? Because you are sort of
at that time I was living in Paraguay.
I mean, for the past, how long have you been in France?
I was living there in 2017 to 18, and then I moved back to Paraguay.
Yep.
And then was the COVID pandemic, and then I moved to Miami.
Oh, so you're now so you came to Europe from Miami?
Yeah, I went to
Oh, Miami is probably a great place.
Yeah,
because it's in Florida, so COVID doesn't really apply. At least those restrictions.
Not too much. Yeah.
How did you move to Miami? Because I would actually like to move to Miami, or at least Florida.
Yeah, my sister lives there, so I moved with her.
Oh, but is it so you don't need to apply for any type of documentation, or you just...
Yeah, I have a certain time of weeks or month at the year, so I applied for extension. Sorry, so I stayed during, because it was the pandemic. And
you cannot stay permanently?
No, I can't. It was temporary.
I would be curious how to apply. And how to actually move there, essentially.
Yeah, I was there because and then was the pandemic, so I couldn't go back to my country. So I applied for an extension. So
it must have been at the time when still Trump was in office.
Was already Biden.
Biden. Right. Okay.
And it was like a lot of people in the U.S. trying to go back home, but they couldn't because. The airport were closed, and so that's why.
So after this trip,
a little more. Yeah.
After this trip, where will you be going?
I'm going back to France. After here, I'm going on Tuesday. I mean tomorrow, and then going back to France.
And so, what's what will you be doing in France? Teaching Spanish or?
Yeah. Now I'm on vacation because there's a summer vacation for in all schools.
Yeah.
So I'm still vacation.
Yeah. And so you just teach Spanish in France,
Yeah.
but France is next to Spain. How come a Paraguayan needs to teach Spanish in France?
I don't know. I already worked as a teacher,
Yeah.
so I have experience. So they hired me.
All right.
Yeah.
And what did you expect from life in France now that Macron is also re-elected?
Oh, I think it's fine. I mean, I think people are happy. Some of them are happy, but they weren't very happy because the restrictions, and you cannot say a French what to do.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's so strange that even in France they tried to pull this thing.
Yeah.
And do you have any ideas about globalism? Have you heard of those people who reject globalism simply because of these restrictions?
Oh no! Can you tell me about it?
Well, the reason why many people believe the reason why the restrictions were so similar in so many countries is because of globalist elites who control the capital, who control the media, who control basically all the things that a regular human being needs to survive or to live. So when you control when you control the politicians, the media, the banks, you can actually try to make propaganda seem like real life, and so that's what a lot of people have used to become. Well, they sort of think that has been well established during these 2 years, that the globalists actually run the world, and we are just some puppets. Or the politicians, for instance, Macron, he's just a puppet. Trudeau in Canada, he's just a puppet.
Yeah, I hear that. I hear that too. Yeah, and also there because in France you couldn't go out to the theater, to the cinema without a vaccination pass.
Yeah,
it was like mandatory.
Yeah.
Even for you couldn't go to the gym, to the cinema. It was a mandatory.
And since you're also from South America, I'm curious because we are in Latvia, we are in the middle of pre-election season. When in October we elect our parliament, and it seems that I'll be running as well as a candidate. And I'm curious of the option to actually legalize weed.
In my country, I think we are very far from that because my country is very conservative. So we are far from that.
Well, but South America always seemed to me that they use a lot of drugs. Everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I hear that. Yeah, like there are countries like where the drugs are like very, I don't know, very.
Yeah.
In my country.
What's the most popular drug, legal drug and illegal drug in Paraguay?
Oh,
because in Miami it would be probably beer for the illegal one, and for illegal would be cocaine.
Yeah, I hear it was like they call them Molly. Do you know the name?
Ecstasy, yeah.
Yeah, ecstasy. Yeah. I hear it there, but just like from France, I don't know. I never actually saw it. So yeah, in Paraguay is alcohol. And the other one is marijuana, because marijuana is not legal there.
Yeah.
But the people still doing it. But it won't be legal in probably, I don't know, 10 years.
But if you say that it's sort of a popular drug, wouldn't you say that people are ready to actually, I don't know, do a referendum, for instance, to legalize it?
Oh, I don't think so, yeah.
What was the one South American country that legalized it?
Is it Uruguay?
Uruguay, right?
Yeah, Uruguay was more than 5 years ago, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, a few years ago, sure.
Yeah, I think it is the only one. Uruguay.
Is it a neighboring country?
Well, yes. Is
it?
Yeah, it's very liberal. You said? Sorry, you say what?
Is Paraguay next to Uruguay?
Oh no. It's Argentina. It's next to Argentina, and Uruguay is next to Argentina. So we're.
So it's not like a Paraguayan could just hop over to Uruguay, smoke some weed, and then come back?
No, because we have to go through Argentina, and it's kind of far, so it's not very close.
Have you been to Argentina?
Yeah, Argentina, yes, because I born in a city next to Argentina, so it was only a bridge, and I crossed the bridge, and it was Argentina.
Have you ever seen, for instance, in Argentina, any signs of those German descendants who fled either Second World War or the trials after the Second World War?
Yeah. So even in Paraguay, we have like towns, like German towns.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we have those names are in German. So we have people. These people say that they come from the war. Good people or bad people. So they're living there.
Yeah, because the story goes that after the Second World War, lots of war criminals escaped to South America.
Yeah, I hear that too.
And so Brazil, Argentina were the most popular ones.
Yeah, Paraguay too.
But probably all the rest of the South American countries probably got some of the
Yeah, rumor has it that Mendele is that correct? Mendele was there living in Paraguay. He was a doctor in
Dr. Mengele,
yeah, but I don't know if that's true or not.
Well, I guess, so if I remember correctly, his story, he was living in Brazil initially, but then the Israelis found him, but he escaped, and I think you're right that he might have been exiled himself to Paraguay, and then nobody could find him, but then he died in like 70s or something like that.
So we have like small town German towns because our population is only 7 million, so we're not so in the past we invited to the foreign to come to Paraguay to invest and to live there. So like they didn't pay taxes at that time just for like have more people living there.
What's the story of Paraguay in general? When was it founded? To whom was it belonging before that?
It was part of Spain,
Oh.
and then we were part of the in Spanish is Virreinato del Río de la Plata. It's like a kind of kingdom. It was part of Spain.
Yeah,
and then we were independent it was like 200 years ago, 210, I don't know, around 200 years ago.
So long?
Yeah.
Oh. Latvia has been officially declared since 1918, but in between these 104 years you have 50 years of USSR. So that really doesn't count in general.
Yeah. So 200 years ago. And then we were part of Argentina and Uruguay. That's why our Spanish is like very similar because it's not the same Spanish in Spain.
Yeah.
So we have like another Spanish. It's the same, but we change we don't say instead of say tú because it's you tú. We say vos.
And vos would be the formal.
But in Spain, like the ancient formal. And now they use tú, and
I think it's the same in English as well.
Oh,
because the you was real up to a certain point just the formal of thou.
Yeah,
and they just don't use the thou anymore. They just call you.
Yeah, it calls voseo. We say vos instead of tú. Because it's you and
sounds very similar to the English turn of events. Yep.
And we share also some probably like Lithuania and Latvia. You share some traditions, some I don't know, with plates typical plates, and we probably we like a barbecue. We eat a lot of barbecue, and we eat a lot of also beans and corn, so we share kind of.
Well, what about guinea pigs?
No, we don't eat that. That is in, I think it's Ecuador or Colombia, Ecuador or Peru, not sure, but not in Paraguay. We don't eat guinea pig.
Well, I mean, I'm sure they taste similar to chicken or something like that.
Yeah, I never tried. So
Have you ever thought that you won't go back to Paraguay?
I don't know
Just
because
staying in France?
for the moment I'm gonna stay here. So we will see in the future. We will see.
So you are open to the option of not going back?
Well, we will see. We will see. I will see. Yeah,
What would you be doing if you couldn't go out of Paraguay? Would you also be a teacher?
I used to work in a bank in
Oh,
Paraguay. So I worked there for almost 4 years, and then I decided to go to France here, to come to Europe.
and France, especially because France has a history with Paraguay.
No, because I was learning French, so I said, okay, why not?
Oh,
And I already visit France in 2012. So I say it's a good country. I speak French, so it will be a good opportunity. And I'm here in Europe because in my country is to learn French is very expensive. So if you have to pay a lot to learn French. So
specifically French or any foreign language?
oh yeah, any foreign language, but French is very, very expensive. You can learn English; it's like easy and not too expensive.
Well, you have the internet.
Yeah, but now yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you want to take lessons, French is still very expensive. So you learn English.
So technically, you could teach Spanish in France and French in Paraguay.
Well, yeah, why not? Also, during the pandemic, I learned Italian because it was the lockdown. So I started learning Italian.
Do you have a certain methodology of learning new languages?
I was taking lessons, Zoom lessons, online lessons.
Yeah.
So I was learning Italian there, and Italian is kind of similar to Spanish, so it's not very hard.
Oh, okay.
I mean, some words are the same, or
It's the Roman languages, right?
yeah, Roman languages. And I realized that you can understand a language with roots or change some, I don't know, some words. So at the end you can change it. So you can have the word in Italian, in French, and in Spanish.
So you now are prepared to actually live in the most warm countries of Europe, except Greece, maybe.
Yeah.
Right?
Over Spain is also warm here.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You could live easily in Spain, France, or Italy.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. So Greece is off for you until you learn that strange language.
Yeah. I speak some Greek too. I was learning.
Really?
Yeah, but just few words because is one of my favorite countries.
Greece?
Yeah,
Why?
I was there. People. It was I don't know. I feel like home there. I don't know why. I felt like home. Sorry.
You mean they were similar to Paraguay?
Oh, I don't know, but I felt very, very, very welcome there.
Wow.
People were very nice with me. So I was happy, and I learned some words. And I can read Greek. I don't know how. I can. Yeah. So it's not very hard for me.
All right, then you are set to go in all of the Southern European countries. Then
they were. Yeah.
You could probably learn Greek as well.
Yeah. I would like to learn Greek. Yeah, I've tried, but it's kind of difficult because it's not a Roman language. But I know some words. So
yeah,
like basic words.
And so now you have traveled. Essentially, you have traveled a big chunk of Europe.
Yeah.
Now you are in the Baltics, except Estonia.
Yeah.
Well, and then what? Scandinavia?
Oh yes. I was there when was it? 4 days ago. I was in Sweden.
Oh,
Stockholm. Yeah, it was my first stop during this trip.
How was it?
Yeah, very nice too. It was kind of expensive. Yeah, it was expensive, and it was very good. It was a sunny day. When I'm saying that I'm bringing the sun with me because it was raining.
Yeah.
And then when I just arrived, it was sunny, and the same here. And it was the same also in Vilnius. It was raining, and then the sun when I was there.
What's the climate like now in Paraguay?
Oh, right now is a winter. Right now is let's check. 16 degrees.
And here,
Yeah, 16 degrees.
it's a little bit warmer. No, it actually says here it's 15.
Yeah. And
So
here is
why-
summer.
So why are you saying it's winter? Because in
No,
summer,
because it is the south hemisphere.
But then how would be, for instance, in the summer? How would be
In the summer
average
it's
temperature?
42, 41.
Oh damn!
Yeah, we have like 36, 34, 36, 36. And in January when it's summer, we have 40, 41 degrees. So we have
that's
to
too much.
have air conditioning because otherwise it's very hard. Because it's very hot. And the winter is like 10 degrees, 12. It's not very cold.
Yeah, it's
Sometimes
normal.
5, but just during the...
So you never seen snow there?
No, there is no, never. In Paraguay, it doesn't snow. So the first time I saw snow was in the US, in New York.
Ah,
That was the first time. Because in Paraguay, I hear in Argentina they have in Buenos Aires. At the south of Argentina there's snow. Like
in mountains.
the mountains, and there's like cities down there near the Antarctica. So they have snow there, but no in my country, because my country is in the middle of South America.
Would you recommend a Latvian going to Paraguay?
Oh. It's not a very touristic place to go. I
come?
recommend to go, I don't know, first Peru and Brazil, Argentina, and then Paraguay. Because unfortunately it's not very touristic.
But what would be let's say, the most attractive aspects of going to Paraguay?
Oh, probably the people, because people are very nice. The Colombian, people from Colombia and Paraguay, they're very nice.
People from Colombia are very nice.
Yeah, Colombia and Paraguay.
You know, I've had a couple of Colombians on my podcast, and of course they were nice. They were just traveling, but I think, if I remember correctly, they said that Colombia has lots of crime.
Yeah, that's correct. I hear that, but their people are very nice. All my friends who visit Colombia, they say, "Oh my God, people are very nice there." And also, I have been there in Bogota, so I can't tell it's true. But yes, they have problems with drugs. I hear it.
Yeah.
I hear that too.
And Paraguay doesn't have a lot of crime.
Oh yes, but it's it's not too bad. I mean, it's not a perfect place, but it's not too bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, people are very nice there. You can talk in English there with young people, but no with older people, because it's not very common. They didn't have English at school.
It's probably the same in France.
Yeah.
But in Sweden, I think everybody is able to speak English.
Yeah, it's not like other countries that you speak English with every person. So you just talk to the younger people to speak English, because we had at school.
And what would you say are the things that need fixing in Paraguay?
Probably because what can I say? We can say...
Well, you can say whatever you like.
We can start with the streets, because they're not in good shape.
All right.
So the government doesn't invest.
Welcome to Latvia.
Yeah.
We have the same.
Yeah. The government doesn't invest so much in our also public transportation. We just have buses. We don't have trams. We don't have metro. We don't have trains. We just have buses.
Is there a reason for that?
I don't know why.
Because usually almost all industrialized countries have those, right?
Probably because of corruption. Because we don't.
If you have been so long a country, well, what's your official founding date as a country?
Here's the date.
Yeah.
Is
when do you celebrate? I don't know, Independence Day or Founding Day.
14 and 15 of May. We have 2 days.
All right.
Because it was during the independence was during the night and midnight, and then still the. So we have 2 days.
But what's the year?
Oh, I don't have in mind the year. I'll say the year.
And is it called Independence Day?
Yeah. Independence, Paraguay. Yeah, we have 2 days, so it was 1811.
So it's a long time.
Yeah, a long time.
1811.
Yeah.
A lot of time to be building trains, trainways, or train tracks.
Yeah, but I think it's.
But nobody even tried to build train tracks?
We had tramways in the past, but I don't know what happened. It was in bad shape, and all the rails were in bad shape, and they stopped it.
Really?
Stopped working, yeah.
We
used to have trains too, but the same problem.
Oh, so you did have all these things,
had it
but
for
it's just
during a short period of, I think. But right now we just here is I feel like, oh my god, I'm in a train. I feel like in a movie because we don't have trains in my country.
Damn.
Not even a tramway or metro.
You know, some accused me of sounding I don't know. It's not racist, but some type of ist when I said I think all the places where Spanish people the Spanish conquistadores were going, I think they just robbed those places blind, and then they left the country in worse shape than before. Because when you look at, for instance, America, right, you can definitely see the influence of Europeans, but it was almost like an investment. Right, they actually made something of that country, right? The same with all the Germanic countries, even though they were conquered either by Germany or I don't know, Austria-Hungary or whatever. You still see lots of influences, right? Either in culture or the buildings, infrastructure, whatever. Right? But it seemed to me the Spanish just went, took, killed, raped, and then got drunk probably.
Yeah, probably you're right. Yeah, probably because some of those countries are, for example, Uruguay and Chile. Those are good countries to live because they're safe and
Uruguay and Chile.
Uruguay and Chile, yes.
I've heard of Chile being just a really big wine country.
No, Chile is one. I think it's a third one or a second one.
Yeah.
But the number one is Uruguay. I think probably because it's a small country, so it's
no for wine.
No, for to live.
To live.
Yeah.
So here you go. Uruguay with legal weed is number one.
Number one, Chile and Uruguay number one. Brazil is a good place too, but it's very big, so you cannot say it's a good place because it's huge.
Yeah, it spans a big territory.
Yeah, it's
probably you could live in nice places in lots of areas.
Yeah, different. Yeah, but Uruguay and Chile are the best. And after that, I could say I don't know. Yeah, Brazil. Yeah, Brazil is number 3, I think.
Or Argentina.
But I think they're having problems with the inflation. So with the
still?
Yeah, still.
But what does that mean? That they don't pay with money but with barter?
Oh, I hear that the dollar is very high for them, so the peso is going very down.
Or maybe they just use in everyday transactions some foreign currency.
Yeah, probably So we have
because it used to be the case in Latvia when the USSR broke down, when the Soviet Union collapsed. That for a time it was really common practice in Latvia to use US dollars.
Okay, so probably it's the same too there.
Because it's sort of the reserve currency of the world, so all those destabilized economies, you can just rely on using the US dollar, I guess.
Yeah, probably that's correct. Some of the, I think in Panama, in Colombia, they use a dollar as a currency too. Well, Panama is in Colombia, they use a dollar.
But do you have any thoughts about, for instance, U.S. influence on South America or
Yeah, we have
Paraguay
a lot.
specifically?
Like a cultural influence, yes, we have a lot.
But also politically, I mean.
Yeah, also that. Yeah, like a cultural, I can say like the movies, like the music, all the artists are from US. All the movies that we watch are from the US. And also in politics, probably yes too. Because we receive help from the US.
Help?
Yeah.
In what way?
Like for hospitals and also for I don't know, for funds for I don't know, for people who work in a farm. So
And what does Paraguay have to give in return?
we just receive help there.
I mean, this is Americans. They don't do charity.
Yeah, I don't know, but
They need their pound of flesh.
Yeah.
No, but it's all over the place. I mean, China does that in Africa. Well, America does that in North America does that in South America and in Europe and in Africa a little bit.
Yeah, we receive help from the US. Also, from Taiwan.
Well,
because Paraguay recognized Taiwan as a independent country. So that's why.
Isn't Paraguay afraid of China?
Probably not, because I don't know how many countries in the world recognize Taiwan as an independent country, but Paraguay is one of them.
Because I've heard of, I think at least Caribbean countries, for instance Jamaica, being almost overrun by Chinese capital. It means that China is actually willing to invest in a lot of places, but they probably also want their influence guaranteed, right?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
But if you say Paraguay announced that they recognize Taiwan, it means China is not your friend.
Yeah, probably, yeah. That's correct. But it's one of the countries that recognize, so probably, yeah. They're not allies. I have to, yeah.
And what's your view on Paraguay's, politics, government? What do you think of it? What's the future of it?
Oh, we will see, because now we're having elections next year, so we will see. Because we have the Colorado Party.
Okay.
Is the party that was in the power during the last, I don't know, since 30 years.
But are you confident that they are doing the job competently?
Probably not, because as I told you, the streets are in bad shape. We don't have public transportation, so.
But what's their excuse? What do they say? Why is that?
They don't say anything. Just
really,
yeah. And what about? I have a question for you. What about Lithuania and Estonia and Latvia? Do you feel like they're like brothers? Do you feel like a brothership between those countries?
I'm sure there are people who have even friends and family, for instance, from Latvia, who have some relatives in Lithuania. We used to have at least one far apart relative, if I'm remembering correctly. But in general, not really. I mean, all those countries have their own separate lives, and only when it comes to some type of collective joint effort, when, for instance, you speak about a big infrastructure project or big defense projects, then the Baltic states are sort of represented together. But other than that, at least for me, not for those people who I'm meeting on a regular basis, I haven't noticed that they have some type of regular interactions with Estonians or Lithuanians. Lithuania does share a common history in regards to several things, more so than Estonia. But generally speaking, they are pretty autonomous countries, and it's just that if you would see Estonia more as the most developed Baltic country, then you would probably see Latvia currently, unfortunately, probably as the least developed. It used to be the case that Latvia was almost a forerunner, but now, 20 years have passed, and it doesn't seem that we have gained so big traction and lots of things. Because, for instance, one of the biggest companies in the Latvian industrial building, food manufacturing and stuff, come from Lithuania. So it's so strange to see that your own type of brands actually owned from your neighbors. So it doesn't look good, in my opinion. It doesn't look good for Latvia as a sovereign country. So I'm actually of the opinion that we should be trying to establish some closer relations with the USA and ask them for permission to join the USA as the 51st state. I would like that. Then I could go to Miami as well.
Yeah,
easily.
like I was there in that. So what about the Ukrainian refugees? Because I saw a lot of flags here also in Lithuania.
Yeah, well, local people wouldn't be able to actually explain it to you. We are confused about it as well, because nobody is really saying that the war should go on. But it's really, for a lot of people, it's strange to see so many Ukrainian flags, as if we would be occupied by them. And no, I don't know anybody who could actually explain it to you why that is. And the theory, the whole idea is more probably related to just some type of agencies working together, creating a sort of not a propaganda machine, but sort of a psychological operation to just get you acquainted with that type of information. And only this is the one side that you need to hear, listen and see. Probably that, because once the war started, I think it was pretty clear that we are going back into another Cold War, which means everything that comes from the East is forbidden. No communication, no media, no products. Lots. I don't see the benefit for not allowing some Russian biscuits to be sold in Latvian stores. But that's the way they do these things. And again, lots of people are really, really triggered by it, because now in October there will be the elections. And yeah, I hope that changes something. If not, hey man, I'm looking for Miami. And if not possible for Miami, because I could go for 90 days to Miami, right? As just a tourist, but I would like to have the option to just go there, live however long I want, and do it, be almost like an American, except maybe for the voting. But if that doesn't pan out, then Sweden, probably.
Oh yeah, Sweden.
Well, Sweden, I would like Sweden to have better weather, right? But other than that, I think Sweden has lots of Latvians. Well, at least a few thousand in some places, and I think they have the whole society pretty good set up.
Yeah, it's a good place to live there. Yeah,
It's probably pretty open-minded, pretty helpful, pretty stable.
Yeah, sure.
And I liked the fact that during all these 2 and 3 years with the COVID, they didn't do the lockdowns. They didn't do all those draconic measures.
Yeah.
They're the only ones in Europe. Well, probably some had similar things, but they were the only ones that just didn't do any of those stupid things. They just recommended using masks, recommended using the shot. That's it. They just recommended it.
What about, I don't know, in sports? How do you feel in sport, like Lithuania? Do you have a lot of like rivalry with Lithuania and Estonia?
I've heard of, and I think I even read in some type of not biographies, but old sort of manuscripts that during the initial years of Latvia, 100 years ago, that there were such rivalries out of, I don't know, probably some historical context, but nowadays not at all. We do have some type of, I think, either championships for the Baltic states. I think maybe if you go and look at, let's say, basketball, there might be even a league, a Baltic basketball league. I'm not really sure, but I think I've heard of such things. Yeah, so that would be just a regular, competition, but not in those. Yeah, my next door neighbor is my rival type of thing. Not at all.
Okay, that's great. And what about the language? Is that similar? That probably you can understand Lithuanian if you go there, or not?
No, I could maybe understand a few words because up until a certain point, Latvia had also similar endings to the words, but I don't know why they just made a reform. While Lithuania kept it, Latvian didn't, and so we have the basic change in the way we end the words, the ending of a word. But yeah, I could. So if my language has the ending in one way, I could recognize the same word probably in Lithuanian. It just has the ending a little bit different.
Yeah, like in Italian and Spanish.
But many of those words in Lithuania are not even closely related. So it's just a few words in Latvian that sound similar to those in Lithuanian, and so I can distinguish those. But no, if a Lithuanian came in, started talking like you and me in English, but in Lithuanian, I wouldn't be able to understand him at all.
Yeah. What about the Russian? The Russian.
Well, those people who are speaking or are able to speak Russian, of course they understand it, but me, for instance, I've never learned Russian.
Okay, so you don't speak Russian. It's not mandatory. It's not mandatory for a.
No, it's not mandatory, but I could understand some dialogue. I could understand a little bit, right? Because half of Latvia is Russian speaking. I don't know how the official statistics are, but yeah, it's at least half of Latvian population is Russian speaking. Yeah. But this doesn't mean that they are Russian, right? It's just that you had at least 15 nationalities during the Soviet Union, and all of them spoke Russian. So either there were Ukrainian, Belarusian, Russian, Kyrgyz, or whatever. They are staying here, and basically they're speaking Russian. So they are Russian-speaking citizens.
Yeah. Because I hear that when you have the Ukrainian refugees, you're speaking Russian with them. So you have that you use that language for communication.
I'm sure there are many people who are actually helping with the refugees and also then speaking with them in Russian, but at least not me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about Estonia and Latvia? Is it similar? I mean, the language and the relationship with the country?
No, it's a totally different language group. We are together with Lithuania. We would be I'm not sure anymore how that sounds in English, but either way, we were in the language group together with Prussia, Lithuania, and Latvia, and Estonian was in the language group together with Finnish.
Oh yeah, I hear that too.
So yeah, they are different, but I would say I've met Estonians. I've been to Estonia a couple of times. I would literally say they are just smarter people. And that's a weird thing because I don't think they are on average smarter than me personally or somebody I would know. But as a collective society, they do seem smarter. They would probably do more things more efficiently and just don't be so corrupt or don't be so silly. It just seems that way. What I've seen.
Yeah.
And Finnish people are similar.
Okay.
You sometimes wonder how somebody can actually have such a cool, logical thought, right? They don't have those emotions when it comes to some type of public policy many times. Yeah. And actually, that's another thing why I think the Spanish conquistadors and Spanish rule didn't establish good governments because Spanish people are temperamental and emotional.
Oh yeah.
Whereas you need just cool, calm, and calculating for building bridges, roads. You just need an engineer.
Yeah.
You don't need a poet.
Yeah. That's correct. That's correct too. Yeah. Yeah. And what about the weather here? Because now we're in summer, and it's 14 degrees right now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 14 degrees. How is the winter if summer is 14 degrees? Or it is just winter, is that rare or is like this?
No, but winter would be just with a minus in front of it.
Oh, that's cold.
No, that's cold. That's a normal range, I would say.
Yeah.
Because I've had experiences of having July with plus 30 degrees. Right?
Okay.
And January with minus 30 degrees. So,
okay. So
but on average, I think now it's pretty average. Yeah.
Oh, it's average. Oh, I thought it was like a cold day.
It's definitely on the colder side for July month. Yeah, it's a little bit on the colder side. But if you will get 2 or 3 days with the sun, it will be also back to average, probably 25 degrees.
Yeah.
But it's definitely on the colder side, yeah. I don't expect July to be this as it is now.
Yeah. And what about August?
Well, the same. July, August, I would expect that it's mostly at least 22 or 23 degrees, at least, and mostly sunny. But yeah, you never know with those climate things.
And what about the government in here?
Stupid bastards, if you ask me. Well, I didn't pay attention to politics for I don't know how many years, right? I thought you can put a chimpanzee in and nobody can hurt too much, right? But during these 2 years, it's just so down the drain. So many things were basically irreparably destroyed. And so, I think they're just bastards. Most of them. Even though some of them might be useful idiots. Maybe they don't intend to do harm, but still, I mean, so many stupid things have been done, and then they just try to say that they are not stupid in so many ways that are so silly, right? Then you can see through those arguments. You can actually debate those arguments and see that they are not valid arguments, but still, they just keep on going, right? And you see that, and it's not something I aspire to be. I don't recommend anybody being that type of person, because if you are a man of your word, and if you have some type of honor, and if you have some type of brain, you would do many of those things totally differently.
Okay. What about another question? So I forgot. The question was, what about the infrastructures? Do you have a lot of modern, bridges or
modern bridges?
Or I don't know,
not necessarily. Latvia has one of the worst road infrastructure qualities, but the last bridge built in Latvia was also one of the, I think they calculated that it was one of the most expensive bridges in the world, calculated by a kilometer.
Okay.
I think that was the story, that they built a bridge over the Daugava River that was, I think it was finished maybe 15 years ago. Maybe 15 years ago, around that time. Or maybe even 10 years ago, I'm not sure. But still, it's fairly new compared to the rest of the bridges in Riga. And it was more than $1 billion at that time, which was a ludicrous amount. But again, probably lot of the money was just going through some type of offshore, so corrupting.
Okay. Oh, I remember the question. It was you have like a lot of how do you say Russian story when you were part of you are
Soviet Union.
Soviet Union.
Yeah.
So you have like a Soviet piece of arts that I hear that you're gonna be like destroying one of them, or you already destroyed a lot of them.
Oh, it's
So
probably
you're like you're not like I don't know, you're not rescuing that part of this history of your country, or just hiding, or what are you doing with that?
I guess you are speaking about the monument.
Monument, yeah.
It is a monument that was built in the 80s for the remembrance of the fallen soldiers in World War II.
Okay.
And well, it wasn't really it wasn't really in the public sphere that much. It was just a monument, and nobody really cared about it up until I think 2012. Well, let's say 20 years ago, when the Riga mayor at that time, he was from the party that represented also Russian-speaking people.
Okay.
And he started doing those public relations events at that monument, right, where he put the flowers, he made some concerts. So basically, during a few years, he sort of made the monument more important than it was. Before that, I mean, it was 30 years and nobody really cared about it that much, but he actually created some type of public attention to it. And now, well, once the Ukraine war started, it was just all the nationalists demanded to sort of get back at Russia every way possible, and the closest way to do that is to destroy all the Soviet Union heritage sites.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but I think that's part of the history. You don't have to destroy, even if it.
Yeah. I think it is silly because even though Russia is sort of the inherited nation from the Soviet Union, still the Soviet Union was comprised of 16 countries, right? It's not really the same, but sort of I guess speaking Russian means that it is the same for a lot of people, because a lot of people are just simplistically minded, which means if something was built for the Russians, by the Russians, with Russians, it means it should be now sort of eliminated, right? Because Russia is invading Ukraine. I don't see the connection there, because if you would like to destroy everything that the Soviet Union built in Latvia, it would mean we wouldn't be living in any houses, basically, because I think 70 or 80% of the housing market in Latvia was built during the Soviet Union. Right, because before the Soviet Union occupied Latvia, most Latvians lived in rural areas, in those small farmhouses, basically, right? And apartment buildings, just and mass living was only established during the Soviet Union times. So it's a little bit silly to say, we need to destroy the monument because it was built by Russians, but then you are just living in the Soviet-built housing apartment house. Right, so and using the streets that were built in the Soviet times, it's just I don't understand it, but you don't need to understand it, right? It's just emotional, illogical, irrational behavior by humans, thinking that they will somehow angry or get back at Putin. Putin doesn't care about those things. I don't think Russians even speak about those things. But if it makes some people feel happier. But I agree. But see, in the West, for instance, they did the same for the Black Lives Matter movement, right? They removed some statues from the former politicians, from former what have you, because they had the past with slavery or whatever. So it's the same mentality, but I think it's silly. I think it really shows a negative side of collective psychology. It means probably that it's not far, and we will be having a Chinese cultural revolution on our hands, with millions of people repressed.
It was the same in some countries in South America with the statue of Christopher Columbus. They were removing the statues from the streets, from the squares. They were removing it.
I think humans, even though we are able to speak on a phone and browse the internet, Most of the people are really just monkeys. No, just curious about status, curious about symbols. They're not interested in the meaning of anything. It's just somebody is stronger, bigger, somebody has more influence, or yeah, that's what they're attracted to, that's what needs to be done to make themselves a little bit happy, a little bit emotionally upset or whatever. So it's, yeah, I think social media has created it's almost like social media is too good for the next generations, because the next generations don't really know what it was like before social media. They don't understand the psychology of having to interact face to face, or having sort of a responsibility of for your actions and your words. I think that's the crazy part. Even though social media and internet and all these IT technologies have allowed people to communicate better and to have more freedom in different areas, it by itself it just creates some lazy idiots.
Because, for example, broadcasting like this, it wasn't possible like 10 years ago. You have to go to a radio station, and it was like a very, very expensive. You have to pay for the space.
And still now I don't understand why even the broad mainstream media is even relevant. I don't understand why people pay attention to, for instance, some type of a news agency where they clearly have shown that they are basically paid to do something. It's not like they're telling you objective news. It's just they are paid to do certain things, right? To show certain things, to talk about certain things, which is ridiculous. There was a saying that it is the most informed society with the least knowledge, or something like that.
Yeah. That's why I really like this area. It's like, can I say, because you can broadcast your message to the people, and you don't need to go to the radio station and pay a lot, and you don't have to have, like, I don't know, spend like $1 million.
You don't need any licenses. You don't need any fancy equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I like it. This century. I say?
And some would say that with a good enough telephone, you don't even need the basic microphones or anything. It's just a microphone, and that's it.
Yeah, you can share your message. Yeah, with all the people who's outside, and try to find somebody to to share ideas. It's very important. Yeah. All right.
What are the questions you usually ask of local people?
Okay, well, I start with I always want to try the local food. So I ask, what is the local food here, or can you teach me some phrases, some words in your language? So here I learn. What was it? I learn. Sveiki?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah. Paldies. I use that all the time. Yeah, paldies. And also Vidiešiem.
Men?
Yeah. Because I was at the store and looking for the part of men. There's the store department.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also another word. Is Narahu Latviski. I don't speak it.
Es nerunāju latviski?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't speak Latvian.
Yeah, because some people start talking to me.
But have you ever tried to use Google Translate?
Yeah, I use that
with the speaking function.
Oh no, I just try to speak by myself. I mean, I hear it, and because I want to speak, so I'm part of the country in some way.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
But you know about the function, you just don't want to use it?
I mean, I use it, but I just try to do it by myself so I can live the experience.
Really?
Even if I don't pronounce it very good. Yeah. For example, yes. Yeah. When you're trying something new, you say it is delicious, right?
Yeah. Tas ir garšīgi.
So I can say that is garšīgi.
Yeah, but you can actually imitate the sounds.
Yeah, that's what I
pretty good.
use that. Yeah, I imitate the sound and then I try to, because it's part of the experience of traveling for me. I mean,
But don't you? Have you ever had? Can you
Yeah.
turn on the
Yeah.
Google Translator?
yeah.
Have you tried the conversation?
No, because yeah, we can try.
Let's say Spanish to Latvian.
Yeah,
No, for instance.
yeah, we can try now.
Let's see.
It-
Tas ir garšīgi.
Es delicioso.
Yeah.
And then you can say, for instance, I agree it is garšīgi. Or I agree it is delicious.
Estoy de acuerdo. Es delicioso.
Piekrītu, tas ir garšīgi.
Yeah. That is
And can we try
accurate
like a
translation.
can we try like a real conversation like we're having now?
Yeah.
Is it that works? Conversation?
Actually, yeah, you need to just turn on I think this one. Oh, wait.
Papiroflexia 2448.
Because it's spoken English.
No. But not available for this language pair. But then you can actually try to do it through English. So, for instance, now we can try to have a dialogue.
Ahora podemos
Yeah, in
intentar
Spanish,
tener
isn't
un diálogo.
It doesn't work with me gustaría mucho.
I would like very much.
Yes, I agree very much.
Sí, estoy muy de acuerdo.
Estoy muy conforme con el avance de la tecnología en los últimos años.
I am very satisfied with the advancement of technology in recent years.
I agree. It has made life much, much easier.
Estoy de acuerdo en que ha hecho la vida mucho, mucho más fácil.
But I think it works with Latvian too.
Well, it did say that it wasn't working for that particular language pair. Maybe you need to download it. If you press this in the middle.
Okay, I think it's work. Can you speak Latvian? Yeah.
Jā, es varu runāt latviski.
Sí, puedo hablar letón.
No, if you would like, if you press
Me
like that.
gustaría mucho aprender ese idioma, pero es un poco complicado.
Es ļoti vēlētos iemācīties šo valodu, bet tā ir nedaudz sarežģītā.
You press this.
Tā noteikti ir ļoti sarežģīta, bet nav jau arī baiga vajadzīga.
Debe ser muy difícil, pero es necesario mañana.
Tomorrow? Because the last word said tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
No.
In the future.
No. The phrase was, it's certainly a difficult language, but also not very necessary.
Okay.
I don't know why it says future.
Yeah, up there.
So yeah, you can actually
communicate with that. It's amazing.
Yeah, and I like the fact that the Google Translate is also the scanner on the phone camera.
Yeah, I use that all the time.
And you can just translate signs.
I use that at the supermarket today.
Exactly.
It's very useful, yeah.
Exactly.
Very useful. I love technology. It's one of my favorite
topic. So that's one of the reasons why I actually don't mind of Google and Facebook and all the rest spying on me. Right?
Yeah.
It's like the price to pay. Right?
And that's it. So yeah, I'm very happy with it because it's helping me, as I said, to enjoy the experience of being in a new country where you don't speak the language, so you can communicate with others without using I don't know a common language. So you're learning too. I'm learning how to say palkias. I remember palkias all the time. Palkias.
I'm trying to remember because I know in French it would be merci for thanks, but in Spanish it would be, let me try to remember. Gracias, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, gracias.
Gracias, correct.
Yeah. But those are just so typical, right? I mean, those hola,
Yeah.
gracias. I think in Greece it would be Hellas.
Yes,
Yeah.
gracias.
So yeah.
Efaristo, thanks. Gracias. Gracias. So you have to learn that word. It's very important.
Yeah, I agree.
So now I know. Palkies I will remember forever because I use it all the time here during these days.
Have you been to Russia?
No, not yet.
Because I guess you can go, right?
Yeah, I can
There's
go
no
with my
reason-
passport.
Yeah.
I don't need a visa to go there.
Yeah.
But right now it's not the right time. But
So what do you think about the Ukraine situation? It's interesting. Do even South Americans even because if a similar conflict would be happening in South America, I don't think any Latvian would be considering it at all.
I don't know because I was living here in France, so I don't know. But probably, yeah, because we watch the news, and social media is very important right now because you can see videos what is going on there. But there's also fake news, so you have to be careful with all the information because you can share. For example, if you're in a country that the government doesn't want you to the news to say what's going on, so you can use social media and see what's going on there with local people postings.
Do you have any opinions of what's happening there
Oh,
about the whole situation?
Yeah, I think is my opinion is not because I don't not very into this topic. So I have to have more information, but I just know there's a war for territory and that's it. So I have to do more research to have an opinion.
Because I think in France, I think the government is pretty favorable to Russia.
Oh yeah, I'm not following the news about Ukraine.
I think French and German governments have been corrupted by Russian money.
Oh well,
British as well.
I need to get more involved in that topic because right now I don't follow it. I just know the basics. Well, there's a war for territory, and people are not having a great time right now.
Not at all. Yeah. Not at all.
That's the only thing I know. So I have to get more involved in that. I'm gonna do research after that.
So, any final thoughts?
I think Latvia is a beautiful country. Riga is a beautiful city. Old Town is amazing. I was very surprised. But yeah, also I'm gonna send the picture to my friends in South America and in France too to visit here because it's beautiful. And I have a great time here, so I'm having one more day so I can enjoy my last day tomorrow.
Yeah. And if you anytime around here, you just let me know.
Thank you very much. Paldies.
All right. And for the you're welcome in Latvian, it would be lūdzu.
Lūdzu.
Yeah, if you say, for instance, I'll give you something or whatever, you say paldies.
Yeah.
Then I would say lūdzu.
Lūdzu.
Like you're welcome.
You're okay. Lūdzu.
Yeah. So lūdzu. Right. All right. Thanks, man. Let me.